drafting to be underway.
Yeah, everybody has different names in game. Is there a rando in there? I have no idea what's going on here. Almost nobody has the same name.
I think it's the Samuel Mraz, if I had to guess. The other names look.
Okay, Sven is very stored.
Yeah, he's staying. He's staying. So.
Okay, Soupman, we know who that is. Blue Sky, we know HE. So the SWB and Samuel are the only ones I'm not sure of. I mean, I'm not totally opposed to having a random fill out the game. Like, there's already so much wild card stuff. Up, we got a guy.
All right.
It's actually Kambi Yazid who missed a previous one.
Sweet.
Yep. Just in time. These guys are some lucky ducks, man.
All right. Well, once the draft starts, I'll throw it up there, guys. Right now, they're just kind of figuring everything out still. So we'll get things situated here shortly.
Yep. I have no idea who Kalo Bushek is. Okay, cool. So the only one who's a mystery man is Samuel Morass. Cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Cool. This guy's name, XYBBA Lollipop BYBBA. What are we gonna call him? I think he's Kalo Bushak. We can go with that.
Yeah, I have no idea. All right, guys. So just
Okay,
waiting for them
pick
to
that.
get this going here. And then you have the combi guy coming. He's already in the room. Cool. Just Callow is what Chad is saying. Okay.
Yep. He says he needs 1 minute to get in game. I put him at pick 6. I don't even remember what his elo was, but I do remember he wasn't the top of his game. Seems fair.
Sure. All right, so they're gonna draft here, guys. Once they get the draft underway, we get our last qualifier going, which sounds crazy that we're already there. Game 8, final qualifier. Winner moves on. For those who aren't 100% aware of the prize pool situation, the finale is going to be for $700. So
$700 or 170,000 Banano, whichever you prefer. And I will actually encourage people to accept a prize in Banano. But yeah, anybody who wants to take the local equivalent in their currency is more than welcome to.
yeah, crazy good. So we'll see how things work out, guys. We are looking for one more player here out of this game to join us.
Oh yeah, he's selected. We're just waiting for him to boot up.
I meant in the finale, but okay.
Oh yep.
So as you guys can see, the drafts are coming in here, and we wait for this to commence, and then we should have ourselves game.
Yep, Japanese pick. Let's see if Japanese can finally take it down. It's been talked about and picked quite a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's been quite a few repeat picks. Obviously, a lot of people have their idea of what civs are going to be good at everything. So
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the free for all specialists were saying that they thought Bohemians would be dominant. And we've seen Bohemians picked a ton. Honestly, Bohemians hasn't even had a lot of close runs. I guess Project Belgium, no, he actually never had a very deep run with it.
I think Arg had a better run with them, but I don't know. I don't feel like they're a specifically great civ for this because the Hoof Nice is so hard to protect when there's so many different players that see that and want to go kill them, right? So
If you get a nice wall thing going around mid, the Hoofnise are so good if only ranged units can engage them.
yeah, Restored's out of luck.
Yeah.
Khmer banned.
Hindustani, that is certainly on the table. We actually have not seen a lot of the new Indian civs. So, well, Dravidians. Hindustani's a fine choice as well.
Yeah, we only saw
First time being
Gujaras, I
picked.
think, one game because they won that game with them. So yeah, Gujaras already won, and I think that we maybe saw them in one game before that, but they won the second game or whatever they were in. So it's worked out just fine here, obviously.
Yep. Okay. They say the combi fella's in lobby already. He can pick in lobby.
Yeah, I mean, so it gets done, right? The lobby should be full here, guys. Refresh that real quick. Yep. There it is. We can see the civs they've already selected. Thank everyone for being here still today. Do appreciate it. Big day for us, obviously, coming up with the last two qualifiers and the finale. A huge shout out to Medora. They are the sponsor for this event. Couldn't be more happy with them.
Yeah, no, this is tremendous. It's not every day that someone gives you $1,000 and asks you to host a free for all Age of Empires tournament with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great couple weekends of action, and I think everyone that has participated in either viewing or playing have been enjoying it. So, very exciting to have this one come to conclusion today. But obviously, we still have to get a winner for this game, and then the grand finale will start roughly 17 GMT. So,
Yeah, that is when it's scheduled. I feel like we could potentially start early, but if any of the players aren't here, obviously their spots are very firmly reserved. And I think the players are going to show up on time to play a one game $700 challenge.
yeah. Otter was the only one that I've heard from so far that thought it was at 18 GMT. So, hopefully,
He's mistaken.
fine,
It's possible that at one point one thing said that, but the sign up form, the AoE zone announcement, I'm pretty sure the rules sheet all say 17.
Yeah, so freaking Andy selected. Who we got left here?
That's everyone. And you know
Alright.
what? I'm shocked. I was really thinking Goths was a high tier civ for these settings, but it looks like they won't be played. And yeah, I guess Goths will still 100% be available for the finals.
Alright, well, let's see what happens here, guys. We are giving them the green light to launch when they are ready. So we should be underway here momentarily. The 8th and final qualifier.
Banano 2, King of the Jungle, Don't Let Your Memes Be Dreams, sponsored by Medora, instant payments at any price. Gotta plug the sponsors. Yep.
Alright, so they are launching, guys. Be in as soon as I get the game room. Once the spec delay is up.
And yeah, for scheduling purposes, it's an absolute godsend that first game of the day was quick.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, it's hard to say with the timing for these, right? So we've estimated before hour and a half, in between, but it's really up for grabs as far as if that happens or not.
And I'm not sure what we'll do for the next tournament, but one aspect of the settings here that I like is the short number of games and the high stakes nature of everything. Yeah, for the last Banano tournament, honestly, we cast over 100 sets of 1v1 games. And while it's fun, there was a lot of matches where one player didn't stand a chance or the tension wasn't that high. Whereas here, every single game is just incredibly high stakes. And yeah, there's not a moment of empty air, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys do see Patrick Medora in chat at all, make sure to say hi, give him a shout out. He is one of the people from Medora that has been involved with sponsoring the event. Huge thank you to them again.
Yep, and he's just a guy with a startup company who wanted to spend $1,000 per year on gaming-related promotions. He happens to be an H fan. He saw that we had a cryptocurrency meme coin tournament series, and his company uses a cryptocurrency similar to Banano. And yeah, he decided to use his marketing budget to sponsor this tournament, and we're so grateful. And we hope that more companies in the future decide to spend a little bit of their marketing budget sponsoring age tournaments. I mean, I think he's getting pretty good mileage for his $1,000 here.
All right, game number 8, the final game of the qualifiers, coming at you guys here. Just waiting for Callow here to get in, and then we are good to go. The vision on this one looks much better for the shared central view. It's a little obscured in the mid, not a perfect circle, but that's okay.
But I feel like that must have to do with the elevation or something.
Yeah, no worries. In the orange, we have freaking Andy with the Sicilians, the previous champion of the first Banano 1v1 tournament. Then we have Pennybacker here with Ethiopians in red. We have Yazid with Bohemians in purple. In yellow, Okejven with Hindustanis. Blue Sky in blue with Spanish. Can't think of enough for that choice. AR-12 with the Saracens in green. We have Callow here with Japanese in teal. And in gray, we have Zoopman with the Poles in gray.
Yep, very interesting spread of players we have in this game. Freakin' Andy and AR are both very high-level normal players. I'm pretty sure that Soupman is also like decent, at least 1500. OK Sven is Verstort, like another 1500 player. And I know Blue Sky and Pennybacker are both from the Banano community, and I'm pretty sure they are noobs among noobs. But they've shown professionalism with how they've registered and shown up today. They're not acting any different from the other players, and who knows, man? Maybe they'll actually show up and play to a high level and surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, exciting, obviously, for everyone involved. Couldn't be happier here. Mid control for freaking Andy right away here. So he will be the one getting the ticking res to start things off. This map is a little bit open for those who aren't familiar with it. There is a ton of gold and stone on the map. A lot of elevation here. I honestly thought of any maps we would see Tatars, this might be the map, but no such choice.
Yeah. And Otter's pointing out that we have some background noise on stream now. I don't know, maybe we should like toggle or mute, unmute, see if we can fix it. But I do appreciate being told about such technical things. I'm probably good to iron them out now because, yeah, some bad background noise can kind of make the stream unwatchable.
Indeed. This is Kilimanjaro or Jungle Mountain. Let me know if the audio bug is fixed, guys. Apologies. Hopefully it is good now. They don't like your microphone, Jabari.
Oh, I mean, I could switch. It has like different settings. I could actually, you know what? Let me switch to the onboard mic on my laptop. I actually think it's better. One sec.
There's debate all around as to where the noise is coming from, but we'll get things figured out here, guys. Middle control, switching back and forth here. Callow has it at the moment. Lots of scouts in the mid, however, so everything is looking to be contested in the mid. Players gonna be booming up. 250 pop. Lots of possibilities with that position, obviously. And we already have freaking Andy going for a dock and a fishing chip. So that is something we haven't had as far as we know as docks. You guys have to let me know if it gets any better here with the audio. Do apologize for the audio issues. We've been pretty good so far. I haven't had many issues with it, so.
All right, I am back. I hope things are better.
Game before was fine. Yeah, I mean nothing's changed on the front of that. So I'll go mute here and unplug and replug. Oh, it's gotten better, but not gone. Yeah, I'll unplug the mic and replug it. So Jabari will entertain you for the moment.
Oh boy. You know, I think I would have an easier job entertaining if you didn't set me up with so much expectation like that. But yeah, we're just watching these scouts run around mid. Yep, and thanks everybody for hanging out, checking out the tourney. The free-for-all community in particular has been incredibly supportive of this. I guess I didn't realize prior to hosting this tournament that there is a large dedicated free-for-all community, and they really don't have a whole lot of tournaments or other events, but they are playing and grinding that free-for-all life just as hard as the 1v1 players. And yeah, Otter confirms the audio issues are fixed now that Juicy is gone. But
all right, well I'm back now.
Juicy,
so let me know.
yeah, Juicy's the guy, man. I'll take Juicy with background noise over no Juicy for sure. But
Fixed. Yeah, I think my microphone cable needs replaced. If you guys are having the issue, it doesn't really come through on my end, so I appreciate you letting us know. Obviously, AR-12 with a forward barracks here, so he will be going for middle control here. It looks like.
yep, I mean, in the early game, I think it's definitely worth it to take a shot at mid. If there's any chance you're able to get that trickle of resources for more than a few seconds, it's worth potentially losing your scout for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I am a bit interested to see. Freaking Andy has docked. He has 4 fishing chips out. No one else has gone for this sort of a strategy right now, so we'll see if that pays off. I mean, obviously, I believe that it will, especially if fish traps can be afforded. And there are obviously a few shore fish there to take as well. Why dock Sicilians with the best farms? Early population. It's 250 pop. So I think it makes sense, to be honest. You don't have to invest a ton into it, but getting the eco up a little earlier even.
Yep, I mean, I think there's a total of 2 shorefish in that body of water that should be enough to justify it.
Yeah, a couple hundred shore fish, not too shabby.
Though the shorefish are about to run out, it is actually possibly a questionable play.
AR-12 contesting the mid here. Looks like he's not going to take it with what he has. He has more coming, though, so shouldn't be too bad. Going for an archery range behind it as well. So everything's coming together here for the players. Taking shorefish, taking the hunt.
Very interesting. Oh.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's a very interesting, unique map for King of the Hill. It's actually the first time I think I've seen King of the Hill played with an actual hill players to capture.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what works out here. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of map here. Wood is sparse, but these acai, whatever these trees are called, 150 wood per tree. So
Acacia, I think it's
acacia,
pronounced.
there you go. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, trying to create a map that looks like a mountain really reveals how in AoE, like the elevation is done with a staircase effect. This Mount Kilimanjaro is kind of looking like a pyramid here.
Yeah, it is interesting. And then the inside of it looks like it actually goes downward. So
Yep, there's a pit, kind of like a volcano. I mean, it's an interesting map for sure. It's like a volcano with a bunch of bananas in the middle.
yeah, absolutely. Blue Sky's looking like he's at the bottom of the totem pole here with score. He's lowest Vil count right now, tied with Soup Man actually. So
Yep. And honestly, I'm proud of Blue Sky, man. I looked at Blue Sky and Pennybacker's profiles, and they look like they literally don't play multiplayer. So to see them even within 10 vills of the leaders is highly encouraging. I was slightly worried that these guys would be, yeah, not even resembling competitive play, but they're giving me hopes that they might actually have a chance.
yeah, some people play a lot of lobby games, free for all games, obviously, guys. But I mean, obviously, the more experience you have playing the game, probably the better position that you're in, right? So
It's possible though that like an exclusive lobby player might actually have more relevant experience than an RM ladder grinder.
true,
But I think that there is no substitute for like the competitive level of ranked play.
fair enough. Cannot believe. I believe we cannot Diplo. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, there should be no Diplo. We did try to set the map script so that it's actually impossible to queue trade units. I did hear that for Jungle Arabia, it is actually still possible to queue trade units, but regardless, it is prohibited by the rules. And I
Superman
gotta,
is not happy with the fishing. He's gonna take out a fishing trap.
pretty brutal, actually. Nice value. As yeah, there's at least like 3 more fish traps which could be taken out by that scout. Fish traps are expensive too. I think that's like 100 wood.
Yeah, it is, I believe. So fish traps not paying off here. Fishing chips might not pay off as well. Lots
Yeah.
of green in the middle of the map. He's just come out to take the wood towards the mid first. We do have another dock here. AR-12 adds one. It's like he will probably go for some fishing ships as well. Walling up this map here and there, we see it happening, but not as heavily of a commitment as we saw previously. Freaking Andy gonna come to the mid with some villagers here. Looks like Pennybacker's gonna head that way as well. Have some archers. So interesting freaking Andy coming out with vills to fight here.
I mean, I think he came out with the vills to build buildings, and he's just fighting because he happens to run into military units. But yeah, freaking Andy, as I said, definitely the top seed for this game, being the highest rated 1v1 player in the group, plus the player who does the best with odd settings. I imagine he's going to want to try and take this fast, not leave anything to chance. And Sicilians, with their faster building castles, I think they're like Cavalier, probably pretty OP in the early game too, with extra pierce armor and reduced bonus damage received. Like Sicilians feel like a fine choice for an early push on mid with a gold comp plus some castles.
Yeah, he's gonna go for that castle right now here forward. Relic control, guys, gonna be something to watch out for. See who's got what here. But so far, it doesn't look like anyone has a relic. This castle should
Yeah.
go up. It is Sicilians, after all.
Absolutely filthy relic heist there, stealing it right out from under the monastery.
Yeah, works out well for him. One villa goes down, but the castle does, in fact, go up here. And looks like he is going to try to fight this off with the vills, try to take mid control for himself here. Makes a lot
Yeah,
of sense.
with that castle ranging half the monument, freaking Andy has center control basically in the bag. It's just a matter of seconds before he squeezes off this last other unit.
Ooh, a
Yep.
Donjon play in the middle. Alright. Well, this is a
Yep.
new one. We haven't seen this yet from Sicilians.
Yeah, I don't think he's going Don Johns in general, but he just wants fortifications ranging the entire thing to lock it down for now. I assume mostly for resource collection, but I also assume that he's going to make a legit run at it. And as he builds out his walls and production and everything else he's going to have around mid, it's certainly nice to have a little surround on the banana pile.
He's only up to 4 town centers right now, so we'll see what he ends up doing here, but we'll see what it turns into. Nothing in the mid right now. It is fortified, so he should be able to hold it for the short term, at least at the moment. Things are looking pretty good there. Elsewhere, it looks like Kylo was sending a knight or so over into the eco of Superman, but that didn't last long. It was converted earlier. Superman is harassing Andy with a scout and sending a knight back here to the fish. So Superman is trying to keep freaking Andy from enjoying the fish boom behind this.
Yeah, that fish boom has been troubled. I guess it's just like Black Forest build reflex to immediately dock any body of water. In this case, it seems like the fish are rangeable by cavalry even.
Yeah, it looks like we have Yazid going for the fish boom as well. And then I think I saw AR-12. Yeah, AR-12 has a few docks himself. Even has a spearman back here to try to defend it, but he's probably the most heavy on it as far as AR-12 is concerned. Relics thus far, 1 for Kylo, 1 for Superman. Otherwise, none have... Oh, second one for Superman. So Superman is really trying to get those relics for himself. Could end up with a third here, even.
Yep, it looks like there's quite a few relics on the map. It feels like a few extra compared to a normal Arabia. As the buildup just continues, with it looking like freaking Andy and AR are the only players really going for any sort of mid presence, with Andy obviously having the better of it, properly controlling the monument and getting that trickle of resources.
Yeah, this looks like a pretty heavy fortification play in mid for freaking Andy, though. Kinda early, I feel like, but I guess he is getting the ticking res, so makes it more worthwhile. However,
I mean,
he has been the victim of some fish trap heists. Superman really trying to prevent that from being a thing for freaking Andy at this point.
honestly, that knight could wreak havoc on like the golden stone. Maybe he's getting a little carried away, focusing entirely on raiding fish here.
Yeah, there's actually a monk here to convert the fishing ship, it looks like. So, the Superman is really paying attention to this here. It's not like that he's getting this boom situation going.
Yeah, but those fishing ships actually probably have paid for themselves. They're really like a dark and feudal age thing. Once you get up to TCs, it's not too important, and that's actually a totally useless fish.
He
Like
stole the
he
fish
should
trap.
probably delete. He should
He's
probably delete the ship. Yeah, there's nowhere to drop it even.
he's gonna make it so that it gets converted back, I guess. Zoopman is making an error. So he sees the scout, and he sees the scout come in, and actually steals the scout. Oh man, these guys are at each other nicely here. A fish ship block.
And yeah, I feel like Andy. I mean, he obviously is good on a variety of settings. Maybe he's also been paying attention to this tournament. 3 of the 7 qualifiers have ended very early so far. So, about half the time, it seems like early control of mid works. And I bet Andy has looked up the other players in this game. He knows there's only a couple possible strong competitors for him. I'm feeling like Andy's shot at taking this early is very real.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult though. Obviously, it's got 7 other players gunning for a win as well. Lots of units already on the field militarily. Units could come from all directions, obviously. Zoopman is really trying to be a pest, try to keep freaking Andy busy, so he could lose a lot in the back if he is distracted and Zoopman's still attacking in the front. And this is gonna be 6 donjons, 2 castles. I imagine we're gonna see First Crusade to get the military count up. He has a good number of town centers, so that would work out just fine. He is getting the infantry upgrades now. Pennybacker has a few rams here, so he's maybe preparing to try to push someone. And Kylo is going to show up with a good number of knights here and get rid of some of freaking Andy's economy at the same time. So I think holding the mid like this is really just put a target on his back potentially.
Yeah. I mean, by being the clear favorite in the game, there was already a sort of target on his back. And yeah, I do like to see this. Calo Bouchek, I guess as you're calling him, Calo. He's making it hard on Andy. I like it. He's doing the job that somebody's got to do. They can't just let Andy free ride this.
Yeah, between all the action early from Soupman, and now we've got Kylo over here. We got Castle from Pennybacker on this town center. We do have some Rams here from Pennybacker, and it looks like he's got those pretty close to the base of freaking Andy here.
Yep. Oh boy, I see a massive yellow on the map. We haven't been talking about OK Sven this whole time, but I know this guy. He's definitely a strong, competent player, and he's showing up to fight mid here. I definitely don't want to write him off just because he's not a top player.
Yeah. Freaking Andy using these sergeants to construct the donjons here. And this is getting to be a very big try here to secure mid. So players are aware of it. Obviously, they can see the mid. We have full Cav Archer from OK Sven. Oh, and that castle for Yazid's not going to happen. Yazid also, with a large number of barracks, has some spearmen out. And looks like Soupman's going to convert the dock even for freaking Andy.
What a useless conversion, honestly. I mean, was he going to make a cannon galleon out of there or something?
I mean, who knows? We also have Kylo coming to the mid here, it looks like. 155 years, Treb's out from freaking Andy trying to Treb back Yazid here. But heavy Cav Archer from Hindustanis. We have Trebs from Hindustanis. This castle will go up, it looks like, for Kylo. And he's going to push the front of this base here.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm kind of loving this. This is like a very classic King of the Hill setup. Freaking Andy just doing absolutely everything he can to fortify mid while being attacked by multiple players on all sides.
Yeah, he's getting hit hard at home. The front is obviously starting to become a concern for him as well. Only one Treb in the mid. I don't think he's going to have a good time holding this.
No, I feel like a few too many full-strength players are getting at him. And can we check the upgrades on these crossbows from Pennybacker a bit? I think I just saw them tickling.
5+1. So, missing some upgrades.
Oh, versus imp units, that's absolutely useless.
Yeah, not ideal. This castle is going to go down here, actually, for Kylo. He's obviously producing everything he can, but we have a lot of heavy CA here. It's going to be something that Andy's
I think Andy.
there.
I think the jig is up for Andy here. I mean, 125 years is too long to 3v1 versus full strength players.
Yeah, and he's still giving it a shot, obviously. He still has good secure positioning, but he's starting to be able to push back at least Pennybacker. Zoopman's converting houses, it looks like, and convert a blacksmith potentially. Lots of conversions coming in there. Andy has gotten a ton of resources off the mid. He does have military, so it's unlikely that he just dies here because of this attempt.
Oh, no chance he loses the game. But once you know that there's not much hope for mid, I don't know how much more gold you want to continue investing in it.
Yep, we have AR-12 with a Saracen two-handed swordsman coming onto the field. Will be
Yep, they're missing
champion
a
and onager soon.
kind of weird choice, the Saracen Swordsman. They're missing a blacksmith upgrade, plus, like, champion is kind of a weakish unit for the settings overall. But I guess maybe Saracen champion is the plan. We're so far from the phase of the game where trash is prevalent, though. Champion just feels like a very weak unit.
It's good against trash, that's the thing, though, right? So maybe he's just preparing for the late game. Andy has it under 100 years, but I mean, there is a massive amount of military coming for him. He might actually be in trouble here if he continues to try to hold mid, because the Saracen or the Polish privileged units are just all over his economy right now.
Yeah, maybe the target he put on himself is huge here. This is really like a 7 versus 1, actually.
Yeah, it's not going well for freaking Andy at this point. He held mid for so long, but now he's created a huge target on his back here. And it looks like Soupman is really trying to push to kill him at this point. On the front, obviously, we have Kylo and OK Sven pushing back the mid, but it is now under control for Kylo, who looks like he might just be retreating. Made some Cavalier as Japanese.
Hmm. Yep. And I think that it actually would be smart for other players to try and eliminate Andy. One lesson that I've learned, yep, he did actually go for Cannon Galleons. Nice. One lesson I learned from casting these games is that fully eliminating a player is necessary to remove them as a competitor. In the arena game we saw, I remember a player bounced back from like 5 vills to be full pop. Even our noob in the Amazon Tunnel game yesterday, Gabe, was able to get back to full pop from being essentially eliminated. Um, yeah, you have to fully defeat a player to get them out of here, and I think fully defeating freaking Andy increases the other player's chances of victory dramatically.
Yeah, absolutely. The champions, I don't think, went very well. Andy says, "Can someone please help me?" Yeah, he's in some trouble here. I don't think anyone's worried about helping him, though, to be honest. There's a lot of money at stake here, so.
Oh, there's a whole corner over there for him to run to.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to do this. I'm not Viper. We'll see if he survives here, but he's continued to get pounded from multiple directions now. But really, Soupman is the one given all the pressure right now. Looks like he's gonna turn back, actually.
Big mistake. You gotta end this guy. That begging was just for show, a sign of weakness, and it's worked, man. Oh boy.
Holy Hufnise. 16 Hufnise for our Bohemian player Yazid. These Cav archers have to watch out, and that could be a couple really big shots.
Yep. That Hoofnise ball is like the greatest military force you can have, but at the same time, it's potentially the most costly loss you can suffer if those things go down.
Yeah, looks like he pulled back a little bit over here. Soupman, looks like he's going to fully abandon this push over here, though.
Yeah, big mistake. I still favor Andy to win this thing. They let him live just because he was begging for it or something. I don't know. Maybe players just don't realize the strategic like importance of fully eliminating a player. Taking someone down to low pop or destroying their push at mid. I mean, it sets them back for maybe a half hour, maybe less. But these games run long, man. And I don't want a top pro surviving in my games personally.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. 50 years left. Mid control is obviously not super well controlled here. The Hufnise are coming here as well. That will be something that will probably push these away. And I think he's okay. Sven's just going to retreat here and say, all right, I'm done. See you later.
Yeah, I don't know about CA in general as a good unit for these settings.
Yeah, it's hard to say how that really works out. I'm really curious if Yazid can do this with Bohemians. We've seen a lot of Hufnise go down. He's protecting them quite well, has a large mass of castles here, and looks like he's not happy with Andy being in the mid, though.
I think the key to Hufnise play is literally to wall them in. If you just march those things towards center and put up like a little box around them, they would be so much less vulnerable. I mean, the real problem with Hufnise is that they just get dived by cavalry. If you can somehow prevent that, I think you're golden.
Yep, freaking Andy fighting back over here on Pennybacker's side, trying to take some space and survive. Soupman sending some Cavalier around, maybe just looking to do some scouting here, but oh, the Hufnise are in trouble. There was 16 of them a few minutes ago, and I think we're down to 12, so they didn't all die there, obviously. But that is tough. Kylo holding the mid, just with some Cavalier at the moment.
Yeah, that's like 1,500 gold lost there, and they go down in exchange for just Hussar. Squishy Hufnise, man.
Yep, Pennybacker is in a lot of trouble here. Andy's just continued to push this direction. He's building a lot of things this way.
Yeah, Pennybacker, a noob from the Banano community. I appreciate him hanging in there, but it doesn't look like he really knows how to reboom. I see a massive red moving to the right corner. Maybe he's going to try and settle in and re-TC it. But yeah, freaking Andy appears to be taking his land here. Yeah.
Yeah, so they let Andy live, so he's going to keep fighting on, right? So.
Oh boy, Andy with the speech play. Help, I'm leading 5v1. I'm not Viper. Meanwhile, he's like literally the Deathmatch World Cup champion, an event which was previously won by Viper, the Banano 1 champion, the top seed in the game. But yeah, you know, why don't we just let him live because he's begging a little bit.
Yeah, a nice little wall up here, so the Hufnise are able to escape for it now. Mid control is not controlled by any unit whatsoever, so nothing too prevalent there. Some big shots on these Cavalier, though. Looks like these Hufnise will live to see another day. Zope, or Kylo, looks like he is fighting over here with AR-12 now. He's turned his sights into this direction. AR-12 does have the high score. He's sitting with a lot of res banked up, making Mamelukes and siege onagers now.
Very interesting to see the Japanese Cavalier here. I guess I figure people, when they pick their civs, they plan to go for the strengths. Japanese Cavalier are fine, but it's kind of using his game's worth of gold on these things. And I don't know. I feel like saving your gold to be used for your mid pushes is probably the better thing to do. But I guess Calo, as a semi-noob, I can't fault him too much for anything.
Yeah, Weasel, the Elo's all over the place in this one, man. Everywhere from players who don't play the ladder up until Andy, who's 2K4, I think, at this point, or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I say, once you get up there, the things that distinguish these top RM 1v1 players probably don't matter at all in these settings. The fact that Andy is adaptable enough to win the Deathmatch World Cup and whatnot says a lot more than whether or not he can consistently beat 2K3 players in a 1v1.
Fair enough, fair enough. It's going to be interesting here. Soupman with a bunch of elite Obuk. Going to come up over here against the Halberdier Hoofnese spam. Not sure that's going to work out too well. Okay, Sven takes the center control for now, obviously.
I was going to say, we saw Valis also making a bunch of Obu. I kind of hate it for these settings, actually. Like, a slow melee gold unit that you're not even using to fight for mid. I don't know, maybe I'm just too much of a, too cheap when it comes to spending gold, but I just don't like a lot of these unit choices.
Yeah, Pennybacker goes down here, and he's just going to consume that corner. He's fighting back a little bit over here. Superman has been dealing with Kylo as well, and it looks like things are continuing to go interestingly. Mid control, not really a lot here for OK Sven. If new say, man, just don't feel like they're good in this setting.
Um, Imagine if they were walled in.
Sure.
I mean, they have the potential to do the most damage of anything other than like a siege onager. So, I mean, obviously you can see their potential. You can see why players keep wanting to go for them. But
Yeah. Bombard
yeah,
cannons to protect them. It seems to be the option for Yazid here. We have fighting all over the map here. It looks like Blue Sky is trying to fight back over here against AR-12, or at least preparing to.
Can we check Blue Sky's upgrades, please? As a super noob, I'm slightly worried that he doesn't have the blacksmith properly set up.
Looks good.
All right, yeah, nearly fully upgraded paladin, just missing the last. Oh wait, he has everything.
Yeah, nope, looks good. He's gonna fight back here against the Mamelukes, though. Not the greatest matchup for the paladin, but he is giving it a shot, trying to deal with everything here. The push
Uphill
for
versus
the mid,
paladin.
push for the mid is a bit more of the concern at the moment, though. Yazid pushing back here. Okay, Sven fighting it back. Heavy Cav Archer Hussar. There's been some elite camels here as well, but where are the Hoofnese? There's not many of them left. We're down to a handful of them still.
Yep, I would love to see repairs on the weak Hoofnese as well.
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be worth it at this point, right? So, they are good for defending right now, though. Yazid doing a good job to hold mid here. We have some towers here from our Japanese player coming up. Siege Rams over here for AR-12, who has won the fight over here against Blue Sky fairly convincingly. Looks like Blue Sky could be our next player out here.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, Blue Sky and Pennybacker, they're noobs from another world. Blue Sky did a good job there, showing up with a massive, fully upgraded paladin, but I think he just literally fought uphill versus hard counter, and yeah, I don't think he has the space or the skills to reboom this.
Yeah, definitely not ideal. We do have some units coming to the mid for AR-12. It is getting down in the years count here. Something to be aware of. 50 years to go.
Yep, and OK Sven, aka Verstort, he's a guy who knows how to win. He had a very deep run in Banano 1, and under 50 years with this military count cannot be ignored. If it's just the Bohemian player pushing him, I actually have faith in OK Sven's ability to hold this.
Yeah, but I think we're about to have AR-12 come to the mid, and here comes Superman as well, so it's going to be difficult here. Holding mid this game has been costly to the players who have held it here. Andy's still alive. Okay, Sven just leaves. There's a Hussar in the banana pile, however. 34 years. There are some Hoofnese near, so that should not survive.
It's a bug, but it's like so well known that players like just need to embrace it at this point.
Kylo called in the GG. Looks like he was in dire straits here. He and Zoopman had been fighting. So, Zoopman, next man out.
You mean Callow?
Oh yeah, Kylo. Sorry, Zoopman killed him off.
Yep. Blue Sky still holding on with probably like no pop, basically. I appreciate. And yeah, you know, when I first looked at this map, I noticed that the monument was in a pit. I thought it would probably impact things a bit. I bet that's actually part of what's making it so difficult for players to hold this, that every unit in mid is taking extra damage and dealing reduced damage.
Yeah, Blue Sky, no Vills. He's got a stable remaining. There's the resign from him. So 3 players eliminated already here. Freaking Andy booming back up over here. Looks like he's at quite a healthy population now. But Yazid does have quite a bit of military in the mid here. He is holding it for now.
And he's doing the sneaky hold, making it look like there's just 1 unit there, when in reality, there's like 150 units on standby.
Yeah, populations on the bottom of your screens here, guys. We only have 4 players over 200 pop. Okay, Sven, much lower considering the situation that just occurred for him. So he's still cleaning up some units over here from AR-12 as well. AR-12 sitting back here. He has a lot of military. Looks like he's actually headed to the north. Maybe he's going to try to deal with Soupman, who does have a lot of cavalry on the field here.
Yeah, but cavalry is like the most easily countered thing. Throughout this entire tournament, I don't think we've seen Cavalier or Paladin actually do much significant work when it comes to fighting mid. And yeah, there's mass Mamelukes, multiple players prepared to spam Halb. Cavalier feels weak as hell to me right now.
Yeah, it's interesting, really. I mean, he's done a good job. He really did a lot of damage to Freaking Andy early, and Freaking Andy is now coming back to reclaim his former base. So, Superman is being pushed there. It looks like AR-12 is sending some units up here as well. Superman going to be fighting on multiple fronts.
Yeah, and still a lot of stone left there at the front of Callow's base, but overall I would expect the map is starting to really dry up for Golden Stone.
Yeah, I mean, there's still quite a bit. I feel like there's not many players left, though, so we'll see how things work out here. Yazid has a large military push over here going against OK Sven, who is trying to talk to him right now. I think he's basically going to be like, I'm basically dead, leave me alone. So, some good raids in the north from AR-12, though. Big fights here between Freaking Andy and Soupman.
Yep, kind of not the best timing. Freaking Andy's been allowed to boom back. I guess better late than never with attacking him.
Yeah, he's going to be using a lot of his resources here. So we click to the resources screen. Freaking Andy has a large bank. So does Yazid. As far as wood is concerned, massive amounts of food for AR-12. So players do have some banks built up here. Big fights over here as well. Looks like the Hufnise trying to be taken out here, but has to be really careful about his Cav archers. You do not want to lose those. So really we have a couple people fighting over here. We have Andy and Soupman fighting here. Looks like AR-12 kind of going after Soupman, but
Yeah, I think this is actually a golden opportunity for Yazid. It seems like the other 4 players are actually all distracted with side conflicts.
yeah, I mean, Yazid
But
is pushing his OK Sven guy down here right now, so he's not too concerned with the mid at the moment, anyways.
yeah, it seems no players are very concerned with mid at the moment.
Yeah,
As those Cav archers need a monk, man. They need spread formation and a monk for sure.
Yeah, I think it's at a position, though, where OK Sven is being pushed so hard that he's just trying to fight back with what he has right now. He is down to 104 pop, 56 vills at the moment.
Yep. Yazid would be smart to just completely end him. I mean, with mid being totally ignored, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, it looks like he's done a really good job of pushing him back. And AR-12 has some champions over here as well, fighting off some of the economy. Not really sure if that was on purpose or they were just around, but Andy fighting Soupman over here. Looks like things are still going back and forth. AR-12 did find the stone over here that is left in front of Kylo's base, though.
Yep, there's also a couple gold tiles there. That's actually tremendously valuable resources for this phase of the game. As Soupman, yeah, he actually has a ton of mineable resources left.
Yeah, but I think he's in a lot of trouble here fighting on two fronts. Andy's been able to push him back quite heavily here, it looks like. It's looking pretty rough over here for OK Sven as well. Losing a lot of buildings here.
OK Sven has a huge standing army of cav archers, but he's so far from full pop. I feel like he's functionally out of the game, unless he's allowed to live and reboom in the corner for a very long time.
Yeah, Andy's still alive, still fighting back on this side. I think this is Yazid's time to go for the mid here.
It's definitely worth probing it. Very few players are left. They're almost all heavily distracted. But instead, he's taking his force to the corner to deal with OK Sven. I'm not going to object to that either. But if he had his Hoofnise in mid and he was like doing a bunch of walling around and everything like that, I feel like this is a chance for him to take it. But in the heat of the game, you can't do everything. If he's eliminating another player, that's certainly also a worthwhile thing to do strategically.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that pretty well under wraps back here as OK Sven continues to lose population, building space, farms. He is expanding here into Blue Sky's previous base, however, so it looks to try to survive there. AR-12 doing an excellent job of raiding here, as well as freaking Andy. So Soupman has found himself in a pretty rough position here. The mid, though, I think Yazid, with all these bombard towers, could take it if he commits fully here.
Yep, and he just loses it momentarily as well. I wish players would make a slightly greater effort to hold mid. In a situation like that, it's so little investment to just have one Vil standing there so you don't lose the countdown. But I don't know. I guess it's difficult to do two things at once, and Yazid has been properly exterminating OK Sven, so I won't fault his play.
Yeah, it looks like he's leaving him be now, though, and the reboom is on for OK Sven. He's back up to 87 pop already. It will be hard, though. There's not a ton of resources left on the map here, but he is finding some wood. Does have some food. He has a bank of gold right now. AR-12 actually sitting on 10,000 gold, which is by far the most. OK Sven then with 6,800. Soupman with 6,100. Soupman also has 4 relics, though, so he's in a better place with gold. However, he is getting pushed by AR-12 right now. And the Mamelukes are a hard counter to the full cav that's going on here.
Mamelukes are a hard counter to every single unit on the map right now, actually. A Mameluke mass feels so good, given all of the comps. I guess the only exception might be the cav archers from OK Sven, but even so, I think Mamelukes trade fine there.
Yeah. Light cav coming into the mid. Freaking Andy looks like he's starting to turn his attention to this position. But the military numbers are going to be here. I think OK Sven might, or not OK Sven, sorry, Yazid is going to be able to secure this. And yeah, Andy pings middle. See what attention that draws.
I think Yazid needs to start reinforcing this mid. He's being given the chance to wall it up, being given the chance to build more production around it. Yeah, finally, we're seeing walls around mid. He has the presence. Yazid has a very real chance of taking it now.
He has a
oh my god, no,
well.
He's... how?
I don't know there.
He'd leave mid open there. He just went from 60 years. He set himself back 40 years in the countdown.
I think that's okay, though, because now he can secure it again in a better way, potentially. Like, he's got fortified walls coming, right? So he's really trying for this here.
Yeah, I suppose it's okay, but from a player's perspective, to have to hold it an additional 40 years is so drastically harder than, yeah, not having the countdown restart. But I guess it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, this
Maybe
is
the
a
other players will relax a little more now that the counter's been reset.
yeah. I don't know. He's getting hit from this side. Freaking Andy with a bunch of siege rams coming in. Hufnise numbers are getting pretty low, down to 13 at the moment. Hard to replace those, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, for a second, imagine if the counter was now at 45 years rather than 85 years. It's just a world of difference. I don't know how players, when they have Monument, don't at least have one unit there preventing it from flipping so easily.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like AR-12 might be preparing for a push, though. He's got some really good gold comps here. He has Zone Heavy Cav Archer, SO, Siege Ram, Elite Mamelukes.
Yep. As I was saying, I love this Mameluke army. I mean, with the current balance, it feels like it's only Siege Onager and Arb which counter Mameluke. And if you just put them on spread formation, even Siege Onager doesn't really counter them. Um, yeah. Mameluke is just so oppressive, especially when it's versus only trash. So I guess he only kind of has like 20 of them, so perhaps it's not going to be that strong.
He's got 29, it looks like. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, he's got a full gold comp right now, which is insane. AR-12's been sitting back for a while. He hasn't done too much. He has been poking and prodding here and there. So he is going to have to deal with Superman in the north. Freaking Andy and Yazid going at it a bit here. It looks like that has actually really hurt the military count from Yazid here, as he has a bunch of military over here actually, and yet he didn't finish OK Sven, so now he's kind of dealing with that yet again. Not killing players off has really come to hurt players. These siege rams from AR-12 also going to do great work over here against the bombard towers. Not something
Yep.
you really want to have to go up against there. And AR-12 is holding mid here pretty convincingly, but he's getting attacked in the north. He's fighting in the south.
Yeah, I mean AR-12 with almost 6,000 stone. I think you go mid here. You try and fortify it. I don't know. He has the res. He has 70. Oh, that's only 7,000 wood, but 30,000 food. He has so much in the bank. Why not just make a very legit go at mid? Even if it doesn't work, you're still going to have a very strong resource bank behind it, so you should be okay.
Yeah, I mean he's getting pushed, but only in the north, and it's just some winged hussar and elite obuk. Again, the Mamelukes completely counter that. Raids could come in, nothing really going on. Still has all of his fishing in the back as well here. Okay, Sven adding some hand cannons now. It's nice to see. Has a few of his own bombard cannons. Middle switches control. AR-12 backing off. Looks like he's just going to go try to deal with the attacks in the north. Freaking Andy also going after Superman here. It's like Superman continues to find himself in a rough spot now that he did not kill Andy.
Yep. Superman's position is terrible. He's in the corner. At this phase of the game, if you don't have a presence near mid, it's very difficult to imagine any player taking it. And yeah, Superman's walls are closing in on him a little bit in that corner as I see freaking Andy pushing.
Yeah, pushing, at least for the moment, they've been going back and forth here. I think that Yazid has really been benefiting from all of this fighting. He's been able to hold the mid for so long during this game. Wasn't able to take the game, obviously, but holding for as long as he can. It looks like he's back to pushing OK Sven here.
Yeah, honestly, AR-12 has what he needs to take mid. I don't quite understand what some of these players are waiting for. 100,000 food, almost 10,000 stone, a giant army, so many players already eliminated. I guess players just want to be sure that they don't get eliminated from the game entirely, but I don't know. If I ever had such a strong opportunity to take and hold mid, the temptation to do so would be overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely. Otter, is it good? Worse now? All right, you're on your own for a minute, Jabari.
All right, sounds good. Yep. So, yeah, it looks like perhaps AR12 is making a legit attempt at it here, crowding the mid with champions. Um, can't really see, but I'm pretty sure he still has that huge Mameluke army. Wish we were on his point of view as well, but I know AR12 had a tremendous bank of everything. Yep, and I do like to see that a few vills have been sent to mid, but with 6,000 stone in the bank, these vills could do a lot more in mid than just stand here. I'd like to see production buildings, castles, towers, walls. Yeah, with only 5 players left in the game, if just like 2 other players are fighting each other, all you need to hold mid is to survive a 2v1 for a little bit of time. Yep, here come the Mamelukes. I think this is the game-winning hold right here. The other players seem oblivious. They need to start converging on mid now to stop this. And yeah, I don't see anybody showing up to contest this. Looking at the minimap, freaking Andy and Zoopman are just on top of each other. The only other players are Yazid and OK Sven, who also appear to be fighting. This looks like a walk in the park for AR12. The other players should be screaming to go mid.
Yeah, it looks rough. I'm back. Hopefully that works. 60 years. Obviously, big area. Production buildings all coming up forward here now for AR12. Andy and Soupman busy fighting each other, not really contesting the mid at the moment.
Yep. Somebody's got to call it out, man. They're crossing 50 years. Yeah. And OK Sven is saying what they should have been saying a long time ago. It's time to go mid. The Hoofnise train, though, is getting caught out by the champions. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge loss if all those go down. Obviously, he's going to save some, but the mid is down to 45 years. Surprising we haven't seen any stone buildings here, obviously, but he doesn't want to lose everything here, I suppose.
Yeah, this looks totally unbreakable. 100 light cav is not going to even be enough to stop this. But at least the players are shifting focus. 40 years is actually a long time if every other player in the game focuses it. But I do genuinely think it's too late, and this is AR12's game.
Yeah, I mean, it continues to tick down. No one really able to deal with things. Superman now saying, I'm not Viper. Because freaking Andy has been killing him off here, taking the relic control. But at what cost here?
Yeah, and I mean, in addition to the strong military he has here, AR12 has the rest of his 250 pop he can send to mid, plus a ton of reinforcements. Some of that reinforcements only needing to walk 2 tiles to get to mid. Unless AR12 messes up and steps off of mid with all of his units, this is looking pretty bagged up.
Yeah, there's not much in the mid at the moment, but it is a bunch of Mamelukes. There's some champions, there's a monk. Villagers are being sent forward here a little bit. Looking pretty good, but we'll see if he can hold military units converging from everywhere. Soupman not really in the game anymore. It doesn't look like no military units coming.
Yep, it's just Andy and Yazid who can contest this. But, I mean, the quality of units from AR12 is extremely high here. The spam is extremely strong. The reinforcement lines are solid.
It's getting closer, though. There's a lot less in the mid.
It's getting tight, but yeah, there's too much here. He would need to blunder to throw this, as I think AR12 is going to comfortably take down the last qualifier, and we will see him play again shortly in the grand finals.
Yep, so we have our final qualifier finished here, guys. GG for AR12. Gonna make it to the finale. Very patient. Very patient. And he's able to take it.
Yep. And yeah, we should probably create a game room or something for the grand finals. I'll just make it public, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we're quite early as well, so.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a chance to like use the bathroom, walk the dogs, maybe even. I think we should stick to the scheduled noon start time. I don't know about you, Juicy. I mean, we can try and query the players. If everybody is here early, I am also good to start, but I could use a short breather myself.
Yeah, I think we try to get players in. Schedule starts not till 17 GMT, but obviously that is quite a ways away. So we'll see. We'll talk with the players behind the scenes, guys. We'll see if we can rally for even if it's like a 15-minute earlier start time or something. And we'll go from there, guys. But big win for AR12, obviously. Congrats to him. He'll move on to the finale here. And we're going to try to get with the players and figure out what time everyone can start. It may not be until 17 GMT, but we'll try to get everyone rallied and see if we can't get everything going just a little bit sooner than that.